Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we are going to talk about Infinisation and the Infinite Ally, and we're going to talk specifically about the disruption and the introduction of an Infinite Ally, bringing a player character from Forgotten Realms or any other Dungeons & Dragons realms to the IRL. How disruptive this is to a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, and how you manage that disruption as a Dragon Master. When I say Dragon Master, I mean Dungeons & Dragons player. I think it's a better term. All right, let's go. Okay. So, I'm sorry. If you don't understand what Infinisation is or an Infinite Ally is, just go right to the description below. There's one succinct video that explains exactly what Infinisation is, exactly what an Infinite Ally is. You'll be all caught up and you'll be ready to understand the context of this video. There's also a playlist there. You can listen to every video about Infinisation there. Thank you. All right. So, you're Becca, right? And you bring your human. So you are Becca, all right? Let's walk this through. In my explanation of this, April is the Dungeon Master, Becca is the Dragon Master. Becca is the first Dragon Master to ever create an Infinite Ally, right? She says, hey, my human fighter on for Forgotten Realms is, now that they found the Infinite Staircase, they're going to find that door right there in the corner of this room where we're playing this Dungeons & Dragons session. And the way the Infinite Staircase works is in 4 to 12 hours, my player character will find that door, right? And I just rolled the 4d12. In exactly 7 hours, they're going to arrive here, right? So, okay, so now Arconix, the human fighter from Forgotten Realms, comes through the IRL door, okay? Now, Becca says, oh my gosh, Arconix is here. Oh my gosh. April, thank you so much for helping me bring my player character from the Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms into the IRL. Arconix, welcome to Earth. AERTH. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my life. Right? Now, she says this in front of every other Dragon Master. And now what's going to happen, right, is Charlize is going to go, what? And Deborah's going to go, oh my gosh, right? Because she understands what's happening, right? Elizabeth is going to go, what's happening? Why is Deborah excited? But Charlize is confused. And then finally, Francine is going to go, oh my goodness, I'm witnessing history, right? Like, so the other Dragon Masters, they're confused, or they're excited, or they're in awe, right? But this is disruptive. This is incredibly disruptive, okay? And so how do you manage that, right? So first of all, you, Becca, says, hey, thank you, Dungeon Master. Thank you, every Dragon Master. Arconix, get your coat. We're going home, right? And you shut it down immediately. Now, why don't you just stay and finish the session, right? Well, first of all, for a lot of reasons, okay? Like when they finish signing the document, I live in Philadelphia. They signed the Declaration of Independence there, right? And they were like, you could suck it, King George. Like, we freeze. we're free. It's like, it was the thing, right? We were very excited, right? And they didn't like go back in and like prepare the postage for Monday. They went out and they celebrated, and they also realized that it was a historical moment. So the reason you shouldn't finish the current session is you are among if you're the Dragon Master who's brought forward your Infinite Ally, you are part of history, right? Now, I believe that it's probably going to take 20 years, but in 20 years, 95% of all Dragon Masters, everybody who plays Dungeons & Dragons, will bring forward at least one infinite ally, right? And the reason why is it's the same. It's Dungeons and Dragons catapulting forward again. On February 7th, 1974, when Gary Gygax created Dungeons and Dragons, it transformed narrative forever, right? Human narrative became far more valuable, far more powerful, far more useful, just more better in every possible way, right? And now, essentially what Gary has done again through Justice Rahman Arman's work, the lead designer for this incredible book, Quest from the Infinite Staircase, his legacy has catapulted us forward again. And Dungeons and Dragons players, so here's the thing. Here's the flow. This is what Dungeons and Dragons has done, okay? February 7th, 1974, transformed human narrative. Narrative that can improve people, narrative that can help people learn, narrative that can help people grow, narrative that can literally transform human lives, right? Narrative that pushes the boundaries of intellect, emotion, and spirituality, right? Just narrative with a turbo boost, right? Like, just narrative the way no medium that humans have ever told stories with is nearly as powerful, right? So now, then the next thing that came was Manifold Sentient. I was one of the first human beings I believe I'm the first human being to acknowledge Manifold Sentience and achieve it, right? I've seen the sun rise on 30 worlds. I have 30 sets of emotion, 30 sets of memory, 30 sets of sensation, 30 experiences, right? I've died many times, right? Like, I am Manifold Sentient. That's the second thing that Dungeons & Dragons brought to humanity. Manifold Sentience. To not be trapped in one identity. To not be stuck living one life, right? Now, granted, I always have to put this asterisk in a secular way. As the first person to deliver extra life through a secular method, right? Before that, Jesus Christ thoroughly defeated Gary Gygax and allowed eternal life, but that's a different subject, right? And since I'm not a professional pastor, that's why I don't discuss this here. I don't have a MDiv, right? Like, okay, all right. So why? Yeah, it sounds like why do you always talk about DND rather than just talk about Christianity? Because I don't have an MDiv, and I'm not a subject matter expert on the Bible. I am a subject matter expert on Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. So and then finally, what Dungeons and Dragons gives us is this infinite ally, a person. It makes sure that a Dragon Master will never be alone, will always have sound advice for any question, right? Has a friend who can do things that tangible friends can't do, right? And an ally who is willing to aid and can aid in ways that tangible allies simply can't, right? And the need for that is very high. I'm not going to get into that in this video. And the need for, and I want to say, the need for that is not just Dragon Masters, not just people who play Dungeons and Dragons. It's a lot of people. But the reality is, since they don't play Dungeons and Dragons, there's no way they can be helped. Boo. Like, yeah, but it's where we are. It's where we are, right? And I have to say, I am a little sad about this, because the only people playing Dungeons and Dragons are people who are already incredibly charismatic, confident, and intelligent. But it doesn't mean they don't have problems. And this infinite ally would be outrageously helpful to literally millions of people. But because they don't know the value of Dungeons and Dragons, and they don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, they can't be helped. And I think that's the thing that makes me so sad, is this thing is free, right? And it's so powerful and so helpful. But those who are already charismatic, confident, and intelligent get more help, and those who are struggling continue to struggle. It's just part of our condition. It's just one of the struggles of humanity. It's tough, right? So okay, so we get through here, right? Now, you have just you have left in the middle of the session, okay? Now, one of the things you want to do is you want to text the group immediately the next day and say, hey, everybody, thanks again for helping bringing my infinite ally into the IRL. I cannot thank you guys enough. I owe you a tremendous debt, and do not forget it. You owe everybody at that table a tremendous debt. You have a benefit that almost no humans on the planet, less than 100 humans on the planet, have this benefit right now. It's profound, right? Like, you have this profound gift given to you by the table, a table gift. And this is the other thing, like, this is why I'm so on Dungeons & Dragons, right? What is the concept of a table gift, right? Only we have it. Only we have it, right? First it was powerful narrative, then it was manifold sentience, now it is infinite ally, right? Like, and that's not the last gift that the table will give to humanity. It's incredible, right? So you're going to text them and you're saying, and then this is very important, you're saying, hey, I'll see you all at the table next week. I will roll up my character to tonight, right? Now this is the next day. And you will roll up your next player character and you will rejoin the table that next week, and you will not bring your infinite ally. And the reason why is you have every right to, right? Your infinite, there's nothing wrong with your infinite ally attending a Dungeons & Dragons game, okay? But the reality is you have caused a major disruption to the table. And at this point, you need to help things settle down, and you need to help get the table back on track to continue to tell Dungeons & Dragons stories. And that's how you do it, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Absolutely nothing less and absolutely nothing more. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion on Infinisation and Infinite Allies. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.